I'm gonna try, gonna try, gonna try. Work till I die, till I die, till I die. I'm gonna fail and get up, cause I'm not giving up on my dream.
Hi my lovely Frosty fam, it's me, Karen Frost, here at Nail Decadence, and in this video we will be doing some acrylic nails with gel polish on the top. And as you can see, I'm showing you which gel polishes I will be using. These are the SBD London ones. Using the cat's eye. I love cat's eyes, you guys know this already. I do love playing with a cat's eye. They're so fun. I love the velvet look, and they're just, you can do so many things with cat's eye, and you don't just have to put them on black, you can put them on other colours as well. And flame stickers, you guys have seen me use flame stickers before as well. They're also really cool for a very, very quick design. So I'm using my nail acrylic, and as usual this is a colour that I have mixed myself. I'll put a link in the cards right here for a video that I did on how I make my acrylic colours. Yeah, the principle's the same with all my acrylic colours, so whatever colours I mix in that video, just bear in mind that whatever ones you don't see me mix, it's all done under the same basis. So, oh, and I'm using my SBD oval number 14 brush. Nice Kalinsky brush, had this a while now and it's still going strong. Little tip for you, if you put your brush to the mouth of the bottle of your monomer and pour the monomer down the ferrule of your brush, you don't spill it everywhere, don't get any drips dropping. So yeah, little tip for you there. On to the application. So as I'm doing gel polish, these are going to be just basic acrylic nails. So yeah, it's all good. All the nails are going to be the same, just applying that slightly tinted pink. Oh yes, and the hand dollar, yeah, if you look out on Kelly's page and if you join the Hand Dolly community group, you might see some seconds, and if there are any flaws in hands, Kelly sells them heavily discounted, so keep an eye out for those, because alright, they have flaws in them, but they still function perfectly well and they are really cheap. So every so often I grab myself a, seconds. They're classed as seconds. Every so often I grab myself a seconds hand dolly, because at the end of the day they're worth it. It has a couple of flaws, but yeah, a lot of the time the flaws are underneath where you put the nail, so you don't even see the flaws, you know. So keep an eye out if you want to bargain. Definitely, definitely, if you're like me and you do not have money to waste, yes, look out for seconds. Obviously the price of the hand dolly is way cheaper, the full price that is way cheaper than some other brands, so either way it's a bargain of a hand if you ask me. But yeah, you get even more off if you get a seconds, if you're lucky enough to get a seconds. They do go quickly though, I will say that. Whenever she's got seconds, they do sell really fast, so you have to be quick with them. But if you don't, you know, full price is still very, very reasonable considering what you're getting. Anywho, on with the application. So as you saw, I'm just adding my first bead on, and then I will bring that down the nail as far as it will go. These don't need to be super, super thick. Obviously when you're adding gel polish, you are also adding a bit of thickness to the nail, because gel polish is thick. And depending on how many layers of gel polish you do, you will have a fair amount of layers. And when you're using a cat's eye, a lot of the time you'll have already had your 2 layers of colour underneath it. So when you add that to the top coat and the cat's eye, you're adding quite a few layers. So try and keep your acrylic fairly thin, because you will be adding a little bit of bulk with the gel polishes. It's just how gel polishes are. They are thicker than a standard, air dry nail polish. It's just how they are. That's why they're gels, they're thicker. Anyway, sorry, the door knocked again. the door knocked in the other video as well. It's always the way. I sit down to do something and then the blooming front door locks, and then I forget to turn the camera on, and then I remember, but I've already done something. Anyway, so sorry you missed the first couple of beads of the application on this middle finger, but you will see the rest. So I'm using my brush to smooth and pat that acrylic as best I can to, as usual, avoid too much filing. Although, as you guys know, I'm a filing freak and I always end up filing way too much than is absolutely necessary, but you know, it's the way I am. It's me. You know, we're all used to it by now, are we not? I'm using the high speed liquid with this because it's just a one colour, one and done type of deal. I prefer it to set up faster because I'm not, you know, messing about with colours and stuff like that. So I tend to use the high speed quite a lot because I don't like runny acrylics, and I just find it nicer to pat and press rather than to paint and brush. Does that make sense? So yeah, especially when I'm doing a set like this, I will use the high speed so it sets up faster so that I can work faster with it, if that makes sense. I know a lot of companies, their monomers are very slow setting, and when I went back to using a slow setting monomer, I struggled because I'm just not used to that runny consistency, you know, that liquidy. Not that it's running off the nail, but it's just very liquidy, and it normally with the high speed you put the bead on, and by the time you've wiped your brush, it's ready to push and pat without sticking to your brush. So that's the kind of texture that I'm used to playing with, and yeah, especially for these, just one, whether it's clear or whether it's a milky pink like this or whatever, when it's just one colour, you know, I just want to get it on, file it into shape and get to the design part. So yeah, high speed works for me in that sense. In the summer I'll bump it down to medium or to max adhesion because they're slower setting, and in the summer obviously your monomer gets warmer, so it sets up quicker. Your acrylic sets up quicker. You can put your monomer dish into a little jar of ice cold water to kind of cool your monomer down, but I normally never remember to do those things, so I just bump down to a slower setting monomer so that I don't have to cool down my monomer anyway. So I've let that set up, it's all hardened, and now I will file and shape the nails. So I'm doing the cuticle area first, not too much to be done, so I'm just using a, what are they called, diamond bit around the cuticle area, get that nice and flush. And then I've moved on to hand filing to just bring my side walls into shape, nice and straight, because we're doing a square set, so we want those side walls to come straight out. This is a curved nail, so with curved nails the apex is slightly different than on straighter nails. I've mentioned before in other videos, doing curved nails and straight nails are a little bit different, and it takes a little bit of getting used to. So I'm trying to do a few more curved sets because I've kind of gotten out of practice of doing curved sets because I normally do straight ones. So it's all personal preference. I mean, I've noticed a lot of the Americans, they like their curved nails a lot more than us over in the UK or in Europe. So it's also it's personal preference, but it's also kind of where you're from, I've noticed, which is quite strange, but it's really interesting how we all like different shapes of nails. But yeah, I'm trying to keep a bit of variety on my channel, so you'll see me do curved nails, you'll see me do straight nails, I'll do some stilettos, some almonds, some ballerinas, some squares, you know, try and give you all a little bit of everything. So yeah, because there are many shapes and sizes of nails. So I've got some shorter ones, some shorter sets coming, as well as some long ones. So yeah, I'm hoping you guys are enjoying the variety. But anyway, so whilst I'm filing, like I said, I'm just doing the underarched a little bit and then the sidewall. You can see how I'm rolling that file from underneath to the sidewall, and I'm bracing that nail with my thumb from that angle, and then with my finger from the other side to keep the nail firm. You don't, when you're filing, you really do want to support the nail, because you'll hurt your client if you don't. And rather than use my hand file over the top because my hands were hurting, I'm just using my sanding band. There wasn't a lot of filing to do on this set because the application wasn't too bad, so I didn't need to use like a carbide bit on these at all, because there was no debulking to do. It was literally just refining the shape, so I'm just using my sanding band to do that, and it's doable. I like the shape that you get with finish filing with your hand file, but it is definitely possible to do it with your e-file and just a sanding band. As you can see, you'll see it's doable, as long as you pay attention to the curving of your nail and you keep stopping and looking like I do. You can get a good shape with just your sanding band and without finish filing with a hand file. So that is what I'm doing in this video, and with the sanding band also smooths it, so you don't have to buff either. And I don't always buff, especially with gel polish, because if it's too smooth, you've run the risk of gel polish peeling. No matter what brand you use, it's always a risk. So I mean, I've never really had gel polish peeling, but I know it's a possibility if the nails are too smooth. And I think the sanding band it smooths it enough, but not too much, if that makes sense. Yeah, just up and down, and then I'll do the side to side, just making sure that it's curving nicely, just contouring that nail. Yeah, looking from the free edge angle, then looking from the side angle. You know, make sure turn the nail every which way you can, and take a good look down the barrel, down the side, from the other side. That way you get a good 360 of where the shaping of the nail is, and if there are any areas that need a little bit more work than another area. That way your nail is not what's the word, uneven. You want it to be a nice even curve right the way round, from the free edge right the way to the nail bed area down to the cuticle, nicely curved and sloped. Okay, so I've removed the dust with I've brushed it off, and then I've used a lint-free wipe with some rubbing alcohol, got all of that dust away, and now we will go to the design part. So on the index finger I will be using that Sun 11, which is it's a nice orange. It's got it's like a gold shimmer through it. It's really pretty when the light hits it. You can't really see it as well as you can in real life on the video, which is a shame, but it has this gorgeous kind of metallic gold shimmer running through it. It's very pretty. So I'm just using thin coats. Always with gel polishes, make sure you keep your coats thin. Even if you have to do 3 coats, it's better to do 3 very thin coats than it is to do 2 thick ones, because it might not cure all the way through, and with gel you do want to make sure it cures all the way through. So I've only done half of the nail on the ring finger, because on the bottom half I will be using the other darker orange. So, well, it's a brown, but yeah, I'll get those on. So I've not cured it yet, and then I'll use the Sun 10, which, like I said, was the brown. I mean, it's a cross between a brown and an orange. It's like a coppery orange. I don't know, it's hard to explain, but it's a really gorgeous colour as well. And again, this one's got a metallic shimmer through it as well. Really pretty. So I'm just using my ombre brush, and I will ombre those 2 colours together. As you can see, I will pull down and then I'll brush back up, and I'll pull down and then I'll brush it back up. And this is how I get my ombres to look quite decent. I'll go from side to side, whiz along, side to side, up and down, and then I will cure that in place and then add my second coat, which I am doing right now. So again, thin layers, and I'm just bouncing that brush up by the cuticle area to get that nice and neat, and then pulling the rest down the nail. And this is where I will cap the free edge. I never cap the free edge on the first coat because I don't want to bulk out the nails and lose the shape. Although you can kind of file it a little bit at the end. You'll see that I do file it just a little bit at the end, but that's more because of the glitter rather than the gel polish. But yeah, anyway, I'll speak to you about that when we get there. So cap the free edge on that second coat, and it just helps keep your shape a little bit more. Same on the little finger, bounce up by the cuticle area. Now I haven't got a lot of polish on my brush, so I didn't deposit it in the middle of the nail like I usually do. I'm keeping these layers really thin because there's going to be glitter that I will need to encapsulate with the gel polish as top coat as well. So yeah, onto that ring finger, the ombre nail, same as I did before. Go halfway down with that first colour with the orange, and then at the free edge the orangey browny colour. You can see I'm pushing it up towards the middle and leaving just a little bit extra in the middle, which gives something for the brush to be wet with, because by the time you've brushed it you will be removing some of it. So yeah, up and down with the ombre brush, then side to side with the ombre brush, and I find that gives you a really nice ombre. And then I will cure that, all those layers. And now I'm adding some glitter to the index finger and the ring finger in a sort of slant across the free edge of the nail. Now SBD London do have a tacky layer to them, but it's not super tacky, so you will see in a minute I will be adding some rubber base coat to help stick some of the bigger glitter pieces on with. You see, they don't want to stick, so I'm patting them down to make sure that they're sitting nice and flush on the nail, that they're not sticking up. So you see I'm just patting it down, making sure the bits aren't sticking up, but the brush is pulling some of them off because it's not super tacky. And so this is where I will add my rubber base coat to give the larger pieces something to stick to. Wipe my brush off because I do not want to put glitter into the rest of my bottle. So yes, now I will just use my crystal picker upper tool and pick up some of the larger pieces and place them where I would like them to go on the nail. And then once I've done that, I will flash cure them in place so that they don't move. Picking some more of those bigger pieces out. There we go. Happy with that. Flash cure it like I said. Now I'm going to use some of that copper leaf. It's like a peachy gold, multicoloured gold leaf type stuff, and I just thought I'd add some of that in, give that kind of metal effect. I do like gold leaf. I use it quite a lot, but like I said, this is the sort of peachy coppery coloured one that's different colours. It's really pretty. I'm just adding that along the line of the glitter into the tacky layer again, but it's so thin, this stuff. The tacky layer is more than adequate to put it into. And now I will use the 5D Cat's Eye gel polish. So I'm adding that over the middle finger. Again, try and keep this layer thin. There's no need to make it really, really thick. Just a nice sort of even coat over the nail. You can do 2 layers if you want to. I'm only doing 1 layer on this set, but you can, for an extra depth, add 2 layers. Now I'm using my magnet to get the effect that I'm after. I'm running it down the sides of the nail and you can see the particles moving. I love playing with cat's eye, it's so cool. Look at that, awesome effect. And then I will cure that fully. Oh no, I'm flash curing, that's right, because it will cure once I've put the top coat on. It will have time to fully cure then. So I'm just patting down those gold leaf, copper leaf type pieces, just making sure they are nice and flat on the nail. And I'm going to add the flame sticker to the ombre nail on the ring finger. If I can get the sticker off the back in, that is. There we go. You have to be careful with these. They're really, really thin. I've torn them. If you're a bit too rough, it's so easy to tear them, and I've done that. So, yeah, take your time peeling them off the back end. They are super, super thin. Which is really good because you can just top coat over them without having, you know, you won't feel it once you've top coated. If they were thicker, you'd have to definitely top coat 2-3 times. You can top coat once or twice with these and you won't feel it. But you guys know I tend to seal things in with rubber base coat because it's thicker. I like to sort of encapsulate them and then I top coat. I just find it holds things in much more securely and you don't have any risk of it peeling up. So yeah, rubber base coat, I use it to encapsulate any bits like the glitter or the stickers. It just ensures, because it's thicker than a top coat, it just ensures that you won't feel any of those bits of glitter or the stickers. And it also, because it's it does have a tacky layer when you cure it, it gives the top coat then something to stick to rather than doing 2 layers of top coat or 3 layers of top coat. I prefer to use a base coat and then top coat over that. That's personal preference, but you guys do it how you like it, but I find this really works for me. So I'm just going to rubber base coat the ones with the stickers and the glitter. As you saw, I missed the middle finger because it doesn't have anything that needs to be encapsulated as such. So, and I'm just running the brush over the free edge of the nail there to make sure none of the rubber base coat has pulled at the edges, and because if it has, it will cause you to lose your shape. And now I'm going to put some crystals on. So I'm using my diamond gel from SBD London, which you all know by now, and if you don't, well then you're not a regular viewer because I use it all the time for my gems. This stuff is the bomb. It's so awesome, and it's got a little pen nib and it's got a brush, and it's just awesome, and it's tack free as well, so love that for putting crystals on. So I'm following the line that I did with the glitter and the copper leaf, and I'm just placing the crystals along that edge. Get those in place. Flash cure them because I'm klutzy and I'll end up knocking it, so I like to flash cure each nail as I go. I'm using the little brush from the bottle there. Again, same again. I'm using a mixture of the orange crystals and those kind of colour shifting crystals. I don't know what the name of the colours are. Oh, sorry, I don't remember because I take them out of the packets, and I've got this what's it called? This crystal drawer set thing that all of my crystals are in. It's got all these little segments in it. It's really cool. I'll try and find a picture and I'll put it up in the video so you can see what it looks like. All my crystals are in there, so I don't know the names of them. So yeah, again, Oh, got a bit of fuzz. Doesn't it annoy you when you get a bit of fuzz? Ugh. I need to fix that line because I've messed it up by removing that bit of fuzz. And then I will flash cure those in place. Now you know why I flash cure, because it's just... And now I will do a little tiara around the cuticle area with the flame sticker on it. And again, of course, flash cure it, and then I'll move it on to the middle finger, which has a fair amount of crystals bang smack in the middle vertically. Can't go wrong, can't go wrong. Told you guys I was into my crystals. Gonna see lots of crystals. So I'll leave you to watch this crystal placement, and then it will be time to top it. Top it off and keep it tough. God, I've got my own slogan then.
We won't ever come down. We won't ever come down low. Running from a ghost town where we never feel high, just low. We won't ever come down. We won't ever come down low. Feeling the sun on my face in Hawaii. Don't deny that I could use some company. All my friends say, honey, just let him be. Now your perfume stuck on my shirt, and there's an imprint left in my bed. I don't know about you, I'd put you first. I bought some new flowers, they're all dead. First you are in, then you are out, like snow in the spring. I just want your time. I just want your time. Your time. Oh, oh.
Now it's time to top it off and keep it tough. Yay! We're at the end. So what I'm going to do is use a detailer brush. This is the 7mm from SBD London. It's a really cool little brush for drawing, but yeah, I'm just using it to get some top coat around those smaller areas on the nails, and then I'll use the brush from the bottom to finish off top coating these nails. We are very close to the end of the video. I am going to show you just very quickly after this part a little bit of filing, not a lot, just to regain the shape of the nails and to get off any bits of glitter on the sides, but you'll see that in a minute. But yeah, we're at the end of the video, so I will say thank you, as always, thank you for coming to my channel and watching a video and spending some of your very precious time with me. I appreciate that a great deal. I know my videos are long. I like long videos myself, so that's why I make quite a few long ones for those people that are like me, that like long ones. But yeah, thank you ever so much for coming and visiting me and, like I said, spending time with me. Thank you for watching. If you have enjoyed this video, please could you click the like button. It means a lot to me, it means a lot to my channel, and it takes 2 seconds for you to do. So I'd really appreciate if you could do that. Subscribe if you've not already subscribed. A high percentage of my viewers are not subscribed, not too sure why, but if this video has been any help to you whatsoever and you'd like to see more, please go ahead and click that subscribe button. And of course, as always, if you fancy leaving me a comment, you are most welcome to. I will always respond. So that's all I've got for this time, peeps. You take care now, and I'll speak to you all again soon. Bye for now.
Used to feel like I was free. Now it's just broken pieces of me. I don't know why you pretend. No, I don't wanna be at your party, seeing you right next to somebody. Why do you keep on trying to when you don't? Someday soon I'm gonna make it.